More than 432,000 refugees and migrants have crossed the Mediterranean Sea so far in 2015. This is more than double the number for all of last year, according to the latest figures by the International Organization for Migration. Grappling with the crisis, Hungary on Friday pressed on with building a fence along its border with Serbia, which is expected to finish by early October. The fence, in part being built by prisoners along the 175-kilometer border, is expected to be completed by the beginning of October. Hungary is planning to introduce different rules of the game from next week, with penalties for illegal entry, accelerated asylum procedures, and possible expulsion back over the border. Well, the United States says it will accept at least 10,000 Syrian refugees in the coming year and increase humanitarian assistance for those fleeing the violence in Syria. VOA's Mike Richmond has more.
The U.S. has taken in about 1,500 Syrian refugees since the civil war broke out in that country more than 4 years ago. On Thursday, the United States announced plans to help Syrian refugees more, saying it will accept at least 10,000 of them in the coming year. The White House said President Barack Obama agreed to let the refugees in the country starting next month.
The president has directed his team to consider how we can further scale up our response. One thing that the United States can do is to begin to admit more Syrian refugees into the United States.
The White House has been under pressure to do more to address the humanitarian crisis in Europe. On Wednesday, Republican U.S. Senator John McCain made an emotional speech urging the U.S. to better assist the Syrian refugees. He stood next to an enlarged photo of a 3-year-old Syrian boy whose body washed up on shore after he drowned, along with his brother and mother, when their small boat capsized as it headed for Greece. McCain said that image has haunted the world.
But how can the American people reconcile these words with pictures of dead children and desperate refugees literally running for their lives? How can President Obama say it is our moral obligation to do what we can to prevent the worst atrocities in our world, but refuses to do anything to stop the atrocities that are occurring every single day in Syria and across the Middle East?
The White House announcement Thursday came as record numbers of migrants streamed through the Balkans into Hungary, forcing Austria to suspend cross-border train services because of massive overcrowding. Hungary is a major transit point for refugees hoping to reach Germany and other Western European countries. Mike Richmond, VOA News, Washington.